Greetings, friends. My name is James Mason, and I am so thankful for you and your faithful work in all of our churches. I really appreciate the time that you're taking to help with this year's Charge Conference process. I know at first glance the Charge Conference process can seem like a very daunting task. However, I think this season offers us also some unique gifts that I hope that you will pause to appreciate. Charge conferences mark some important milestones in the life of our churches, and for some of you, it will be a time of celebration. You might be celebrating new or expanded ministries in your church. Some of you will be welcoming and affirming individuals who are responding to a call to ministry. Others of you will be marking a time of new beginnings with a new clergy person, new staff, or maybe new lay leadership. For me, personally, one of the most important and meaningful aspects of Charge Conference is when we remember those from our community of faith who are no longer with us and who've passed away during the preceding year, and we'll stand and we'll call out their name and we will honor them and remember what they meant to us. I say all that to say to you that Charge Conference involves a lot of different things, and it's my hope that in the midst of all of this that we can continue to see the hand of God at work and the work of the Holy Spirit and what is happening in the life of our church during this season. The other purpose of this video is to provide you with a very brief overview of some of the changes that have taken place in this process since last year. The good news for those of you who worked with the Charge Conference in 2018, the process and the procedures that you'll go through this year are going to look very, very familiar. Rest assured, just like last year, that you won't be able to break the system or break the form as you work through it. While I will share with you a number of refinements and ways that we've streamlined the process, just know that many of the steps that you'll be doing are going to be very similar, and it won't be an entire new learning curve for you this year. If you're new to the Charge Conference process this year, I would encourage you to go back and watch the previous tutorials that were done last year. You can see a URL on your screen, but it'll also be in the directions on the actual form where you can go to a playlist of video tutorials on our YouTube channel for Charge Conference videos. And if you'll go through each one of those, they're just a few minutes each, they'll take you through step by step on most of the processes that you'll be doing. Just like last year, each clergy person will receive an email on August the 1st that will have a hyperlink in it for each church to which you are serving. If you're on a multi-point charge, if you're on a 2 or 3 point charge, you'll get 2 or 3 different emails. Each of those hyperlinks is unique, and it will enable you to log in directly to your church's dashboard in our Brick River system. This will be the launching point where you will begin the Charge Conference process, where you'll have all your directions and you'll do the forms. Feel free to share this link with anyone else on your team or your staff that's going to be a part of this process. Just realize that each one of those individuals will have the ability to update or change any parts of the form or any of the reports, but that link will work for anyone who uses it. Now let's talk quickly about some of the changes that have taken place. The first thing you're going to see is there are a lot more yes-no questions. What we've tried to do is to streamline this by asking those questions. And so if there's a section that does not apply to you, for example, if you don't operate a licensed child care or daycare center, all of those different questions that pertain to it are not visible unless you check yes. So if you'll just go through and answer each one of the questions with a yes, no, it'll be very easy to see which questions pertain to you and which ones do not. A second change this year is that almost all the questions on the form are going to be required. That means that you will not ultimately be able to submit the form at the end unless you've answered all of those questions. We were able to implement this with an update to the system, but more importantly, it will help you to avoid inadvertently omitting or forgetting to attach something on one of the questions. Just like last year, you do not have to complete everything in one sitting. At any time, you can scroll down to the bottom of the form and there'll be a save button, and you can click that button and it'll save your work. I know a number of you work in areas that has intermittent internet access, and so some people experienced some loss of data last year. So if you don't have a particularly strong internet connection, I would encourage you to save often and just scroll down to the bottom and click that button to ensure that none of the work that you have done is lost during this process. Third, this year, we've taken a few of those tutorials and we have actually embedded them right on the form so that when you come to the section where you need to have that information, you can simply click the play button, and right there on the form, you'll be able to watch the tutorial and see where to enter your information and how to respond to that particular section. Fourth, this year the Office of Spiritual Leadership has added a number of new forms. Many of these are not going to pertain to every one of our churches, but we thought it was important to provide you with access to everything in one place. We've provided very brief descriptions to the different reports. If you're not sure if a particular report pertains to your church, you can simply check the Yes button, and then it will expand and it will offer you an option where you can open the editable PDF, you can review that document, you can see the instructions, and then if you decide that that doesn't pertain to you and that your church is not required to submit that report, simply go back, change your answer to no, and then you can continue on with the form. Finally, a number of people experienced some challenges last year with the CAPTCHA security tool at the bottom of the form. And we have disabled that for this year, so hopefully that will remove one other little barrier that some people had a little awkwardness with last year. In closing, I just want to thank you for being such an invaluable part to the life and ministry of so many people in all of our churches throughout the Connection. If at any time you've got questions or if you have some recommendations about how we can do better or serve you better in this process, please let us know, and please stay in touch with your district office throughout the process if you have any other questions.